This is a presentation of WCTV, all volunteer community access television from the Township of Washington.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Larry Furry for WCTV, and tonight we have a very special 168 show. We have the Bergen Catholic golf team here, a very successful year in their tournament play and the accolades that they have received. Joining me as usual is my partner, John Francola, for almost 30 years. John, as we have the shot of the coaches and the players, just very quickly, we had the fortunate to go over to Emerson Golf Course today and watch these young men perform a little bit for us. And after we saw the first 5 minutes, we understand why they were 32-1. I wonder how they went from 33-0, but we know why they were 32-1 this year.
Unbelievable, Larry. I couldn't believe just watching these young men and the coach go through and hit the ball 300 yards. I mean, I don't think I could throw it 40 times, throw the ball that distance.
If the truth be told, you and I can't walk 300 yards without
No, we can do that.
Well, I don't know
Not
about
that bad.
Well, we'll start with our coach here that we've known for so many years, Coach Jacobson. First of all, I want to thank you for letting us be a little part of this great year that you had this year, and for coming over to the Emerson Golf Course today and to see these young men perform. It's a thrill for us, and you must be very proud of this team. As I said, 32-1 this year.
Well, thanks for having us. The kids are pretty excited. They were looking forward to you coming over to the golf course to film them. This was a special year. Not only these great athletes, great golfers, but they're great kids, and that's very important. The golf's going to be part of their life in the future. They may not all be on a professional tour, but if golf's part of their life, then I've done my job.
You know, Coach, I was talking to a golfer. I started golfing very late. I was talking to one of your players. He started at 4. I started at 64. And I did it for exercise and get out. You're not laughing back there, right?
I was.
And I did it for exercise. And we were sitting around the golf cart one day, and he said something very prophetic. And sometimes you don't see the trees because the forest is in the way. He said, this is the only sport you can play from 4 to 104.
Yep.
You can play, and he was in his 70s. And there's a guy that I saw was introduced at the Overpeck Golf Course. His name is John Havlicek, has the same name of the basketball player. He's 98 years old. Now, fellas, he's 98 years old. He still plays. He plays 9 holes, and he walks the course.
Wow. God bless him.
So I said, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it at 98. Now, what he does is everybody knows him. He plays early in the morning. He tees off in the fairway. He has his own chair. If he gets tired, he sits and he watches people go by. But you can play this game until you're in your 90s, whereas baseball, basketball, forget football, lacrosse, you have to stop. Your body just wears down.
That's a great point. And I, as a coach, if I was a football coach, a basketball coach, there's a certain amount of time that you run out. You know, you can't dribble anymore, you can't run anymore. Now, I can't play as well as they can, but I can still play with them. That's what's terrific. I can show a few shots. We had a practice round at Hopewell Valley before the States, and I was able to go down there and I played around the golf, and that's the point well taken. It's just absolutely correct. You can play this game forever.
Now we got something here that we want to talk about, the accomplishments you had this year, and then John, you could jump in any place. I'm just going to read them off, and then you tell us why it's so important. Then we'll get to our young people back here. You tied for first with the Big North and the United Division, and you got what you call a patch.
Right. The banners in the gym. If you've ever been in our gym, you get patches up on the banner. And people come in and they think of the football program and the basketball program and the baseball program, but they're really unaware of the fact that we have the most patches in the whole school, even more than wrestling. And so the kids always say after a tournament, they may say to me, did we get a patch? And that's the first patch we got. That took a little longer than normal. Bosco tied us in the beginning and we lost on criteria. It took us 4 weeks later to get back. And we finally beat Bosco, so we ended up both 7-1 in that division, and so we tied.
Now, just moving along, Ricky here is showing our young people. We're going to introduce them in a few seconds. What they're doing here is they're practicing, they're putting, and talk a little bit about why it's so important. This is where games are won and lost on the green.
Absolutely.
You see on Sunday evenings, one putt for a championship. What are they trying to do here? What are they working on?
Well, the first thing they're working on now is the pace. They're trying to figure out if the green is rolling. There's a step meter scale from usually 0 up to 13. 13 is what you see on TV. At Masters, the ball rolls so fast they just tap it. So they're probably we're about a 7 today. That's what their brain is telling them. So it's how soft or how hard they want to hit the ball. Then they start working on the lineup, whether or not it's going to break left or right. And they have these directional sticks or lineup sticks that they put down to help themselves. So putting is very important. They're getting themselves relaxed, figuring out the pace, and so forth and so on. It's a good exercise. And once they finish that, then they'll go over to the range.
Do they change the hole at the Emerson Golf Course? Do they change the hole placement weekly, daily, monthly? How do they do it?
Well, on the holes themselves out on the golf course, they usually change them every other day.
Oh.
And what will happen is you'll play some of the holes, the cup will be up front, and the next day you play, the cup could be in the back. And this is for two reasons. One, it changes the type of hole that you're playing. It might be a different distance. Also, if you kept the cup in the same place, it would eventually wear out. Sure. People walking all around it, it just wouldn't be the same. So they move the cups around all the time. Even on the putting green, they'll move them around so they don't wear out.
Well, I know watching on TV, I always see that, especially the last day or two.
The Sunday pin placements,
Oh, my
John.
goodness. They put it all the way down, they get that drift, and then, no way, you don't put it right in, you're going to have a bogey.
Not only that, but they'll call them the Sunday pin placements because picture a green like this and the pin's in the middle on Thursday, and then Friday it's here, and then Saturday it's here, and then Sunday it's way over here. And they got a big bunker in front of them, and it's a different type of a hole. That's why they're called Sunday pin placements.
Well, let me introduce the young people in back of us. We get them in the conversation. This is Bobby Peluso. I got you right. And in back of me, I think it's Brendan Kim and Jimmy Crisoni, right? Crisoni?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you. We'll start with you, Jim. Do you like the pin, the placement of the pin in an area? Would you like it in the back, the middle, the front? Where do you like it, or it doesn't matter to you?
It really doesn't matter to me because you just hunt down like the pin, you shoot to it.
I would always think that in the front be a lot more difficult because you don't have enough space, or there's not much yardage. You have to just get it right. If you miss it, you're going to be off, and if you're too far, you're in the next hole. So I always thought the closer you are, the worse it is. What do you think? You're a better golfer than me. What do you think?
Or just most of the time you could just aim for the center of the green, and you have like a 30-foot putt for birdie or something. Just go for the center, and you'll be on the green.
30-foot putt for birdie.
He makes them too.
Very good. Brandon, about you? I can't turn around and talk to you, but you know I'm talking to you. So I'll look in the camera and talk to you, okay? How about you? What do you like that pin placement?
I had a natural draw, which means I hit a shot that goes right to left. So I like to see the pin on the left side, and especially in the back, because that leaves me a lot of room in the front side. So if I leave it short, I have a decent putt anyways. And I don't really feel, and to be honest with you, I agree with Jimmy where I don't really have a particular need for where the pin has to be, because wherever the pin is, I just always usually play safe, try to hit the center of the green and get out with par or birdie. And coach tries to instill that in us where like we just try to play safe and try not to play too much aggressive golf.
What about you have a draw? You always draw?
Yeah, for me. That's my typical shot. I always hit a draw, and but I can sometimes hit fades, but that's my most comfortable shot. And on the golf course, I want to be as comfortable as I can.
Oh,
so
you have to be. Okay.
So you like to shoot over the hole and then draw it back?
Well,
into the
yeah, hopefully.
I mean,
Yes, that's
what-
the goal.
the way you write it
That's
up
the
on the
goal.
book.
That's the
Yeah.
goal.
All right, Bobby Peluso is to my right. How about you? What do you like the pin placement?
Normally, I like in the center just because it takes the trouble out of play, and I'm not looking at the bunkers. I'm just looking at the green. And Coach Jake always tells us to play safe and not go for the pins. And if pins on the left or right or front, and I go in the bunker, I know Coach Jake is watching and he's gonna be really mad. So I like the center. I like the center.
Now let me ask you something. Can any of you? You could start here, then work it back with the microphone. Can you? This is the green. Okay. The hole is here.
Yep.
Can you hit it and spin it? Have the ball spin back? Have you the ability to spin the ball back?
BK right behind you.
I
That's
know.
what he does.
I'm starting with him.
Normally, if I have like a shorter iron in my hand, like 9-iron or to a wedge, I can do that. But I mean, not with a 5-iron. I couldn't spin that back. No.
How about like a 9 or a wedge? Can you do with that?
Yep.
How about Brendan? Can you? I think you can do it. I think I saw you do. Can you do it?
I can do it a little bit, yes. Definitely with wedges. Typically, you can't really spin the ball back too much with like a 9 or an 8-iron, but definitely with wedges, shorter distances, and I actually sometimes spin the ball too much, so I keep my clubs a little dirtier so they don't do that.
How do you get it to spin backwards?
That's just really just have good impact position, to have your hands ahead of the ball and get ball first. That's always the key in golf. You got to hit ball first and then ground, and then a good contact usually leads to good spin on the greens.
Okay.
He's going to improve your game at least
What
10
do you
strokes
think?
already.
What do you think I'm asking all these questions for? This is not innocuous questions. You noticed that right away.
I saw it.
We'll ask Jimmy. Go ahead, Jim. Can you spin the ball back?
I usually, it's for longer hitters, they can spin the ball, but I usually take one hop and it kind of rolls out a little bit. But definitely with like BK and Bobby said, the like 9 irons and wedges, you can usually get some more spin out of it.
All right, let me just go through this again, and then we'll go back and talk to our young people, and then we'll go. We have a nice, I think, about a 20-minute segment of them actually on the course playing, and playing one of the holes there, the 18th hole. You won the Blue Devil tournament. Now, what was that?
That's a unique tournament. That's 6 count 6, 8 teams. And that was the 5th straight year that we've won. It's down at Echo Lake. Blue Devil is the Westfield High School's their mascot, so they invited us. When you play 6 count 6, I like that part because every single player has to play for the team. You know, it's an individual sport, and I'm coaching it as a team sport. And that's why they talk about this conservative approach that I try to instill in them. And they're being very kind and saying that they do it. I don't know if they always do it. But we've proven that it does work. So that's the Blue Devil Invitational, very prestigious tournament.
Let me ask Jimmy real quick. You hit a ball, you're out there 200 yards, you got another 200 to go, there's a little water. Are you going to be safe? Are you going to hit it short, or are you going to go for the gusto and go for the pin?
When coach is watching, you want to be short.
That's perfect. Hey.
True, Bobby? Yeah, Brendan, true? Yeah. If he's not watching, you're going for it.
Yeah.
Whenever the show's over, I'm going to tell you how I lost 3 balls on Monday.
And when everybody goes into the water, then the coach says, okay, we're going to have a little practice tomorrow. Go short, boy.
If the guys that know me watching the show, some of the guys I played with, not very well, I had my own tin cup on Monday. I was going to get the ball over the water no matter what. I didn't make it. Then we had, what's this, the Arcola Invitation?
Right, the Arcola Invitational had 15 teams. It's only 9 holes after school. It's down at the Arcola Country Club in Paramus. And that was also our 5th straight year of winning that tournament. That's a 5 count 4.
Okay, now we have patches coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patches in a row that we're going to talk about. One would be the Big North Conference.
Right, that's all 28 teams played in the big conference from every division, ranging from big schools to small schools. Up at Rockley, we shot a 298. The next closest team was Bosco at 305. And then after that, there were 307, 310, and so forth.
Wow.
So we won that big conference. That, again, is 5 count 4. That's when Bobby shot 74, Brendan 78, Jimmy 78. Zach, what did Zach have? 74, and then Eric had 72. and that's just great shooting. And it was raining out that day.
It was raining.
Yeah.
The next one we have here is the non-public A North States.
Right, that was down at Forest Hill Country Club, and we play again, 5-count 4. That's when, unfortunately, Bobby hurt his back in about the 5th or 6th hole, and so we knew we only had 4 guys left because Bobby was hurt. And Jimmy shot 76, Brendan 73. I guess Eric had 74, and Zach had 74. We shot 297. Del Barton had 303. Bosco and St. Peter's had 310. So we won that. That's another patch, and it's another championship.
And then you have the Nassau Team County Tournament.
Right, that's 5-count 4 up at Darlington. It was brutal out that day. It was raining, it was foggy. It was a really pretty tough day, and it's a tournament within a tournament. So we're trying to win the team tournament, but also the top 30 in ties advanced to the Luciano a week later. So we shot a 303. The next closest team was 319. So we beat everyone pretty good that day as well.
And then the non-public A, the state championship.
State championship, we shot a 303, Del Barton 304, CBA 307, St. Augustine 328. So we're the state champs for non-public A. And because no one else beat us in the whole 24 teams that played that day, that includes every public school, group 1, 2, 3, and 4, and non-public B, our 303 was the tournament of champs, which is really, that's the whole 9 yards. We won everything.
You won everything at the tournament champs. So you had
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patches. 6 banners are going to be put up. In
Well,
the,
one banner and 6 patches. They can put 6 patches up. We're going to be in trouble. There won't be any
but
more
they
room.
take one banner and put it up there. But you're right. You probably have more of those banners.
We have
here.
we have 4 banners. We're the
Okay.
only team with 4 banners.
4 banners. You know what we're going to do now? What I have to do is just talk a little bit to the kids here. We'll talk a little, get some personal stuff from them, and then we're going to show our clip, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about a very special trip you're going to be taking. Okay. So let's start with you, Jimmy. When did you start golfing, and what got you into it?
When I was 7 years old, my mom, she put me in the thing called the Pioneer Tour, and that got me started. I really liked the competition, and I started practicing, and I just liked it ever since.
What about before that? Did you ever play golf before your mother put you in?
Casually, like with my dad, we go out to play, and we just have fun. We do it for fun.
And your father was is a good golfer?
No, not really.
You should say, yeah. Let's do this again. Make your father pretty good golfer?
Oh, he's excellent.
Yeah, very good golfer.
He's a good golfer.
I've learned everything from my father.
You learned everything. He's a marvelous golfer. He'll be so proud of you. So you started just by going. I know something about the Pioneers. Some of those tours, I hear them on the golf course saying they're going to have that. So you started there, and and how old were you there? 7, you said?
Yeah, I was 7.
Okay, how old are you now?
15.
Oh, God. All right, back at me. How about you, Brandon? The same thing? How did you start and when?
I actually started golf pretty late. I started when I was 13. So I've only had 4 years of experience playing, but what got me hooked was I played with my dad sometimes at the range, and one day I went with him, and I had one really great shot that kind of got me hooked with the game, and then ever since then I've been playing.
You know, when you play golf, I always have a theory about this. The last shot you make, no matter how bad, especially when you play bad, you make that shot, you want to come back again.
Exactly.
I'm good, I'm really good. You know?
Exactly.
And it's a game that you could be playing along very nicely, and then all of a sudden it leaves you.
Well, you know what's funny? It's the one game you can play. You can't dunk a basketball. You're not going to kick a 52-yard field goal, but you could blast the ball out of a bunker right into the cup, just like they do on TV.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of golf. You can play that one shot just like the pros play on TV.
And you play it all week in your head. Bobby, how did you get started and when?
Like Jimmy said, I played casually with my dad at Ridgewood Country Club and went to the range, but never did I think golf was a sport where I would want to keep playing. I thought it was just like an old person sport, to be honest. But in 7th grade, we went down to North Carolina vacation, and on the 18th hole, I didn't make a par all day. And me and my 2 brothers, my dad had a competition for the last hole, and we all put in $5. And I had a 10-foot putt for par, and my dad was telling me this is for the Masters, and I just started laughing, and I made the putt, and I walked away from the golf course with $20 in my pocket, and I was like, golf is actually actually kind of fun. Like, may have to keep doing this.
Now he's a professional. He's got money.
That last putt on the 18th hole, it hooks you. It really does. Okay, what we did was earlier this afternoon, John, myself, and Ricky, we went over to the Emerson Golf Club. We met Coach Jake and our young people here, and you saw some of the putting, and we watched them drive. We watched them drive, and the term drive is really, they were whacking the ball out. We're going to see that. Coach did some commentary, and then they played the 18th hole. We're going to show you all that, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a very special trip these young people will be taking at the end of June. We have Tyler. Tyler, you were practicing here. You can't be at the show tonight because you have previous engagement, but you played this hole very nicely. How much do you practice? I asked one of your friends here, how much do you practice when you're not playing a tournament?
I practice probably about 3 times a week playing and about an hour or 2 at the range when I'm not on off days.
And what year are you in at Bergen Catholic?
I'm a junior.
Okay, what would you like to do to strengthen your game?
I could practice my chipping more, improve on that, and anywhere inside of 100 yards, improve there.
John?
Yes. When did you start playing golf?
I started 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Not like some of the other ones.
Started in the cradle.
Yeah.
But do you love playing golf?
Yeah, I love the sport. It's a lot of fun.
What made you take it up 3 years ago?
I was actually a soccer player and baseball player, and I got a back injury, and I just picked up golf and just practiced a lot. And
did it come almost natural to you that you could hit a ball that well?
Not very naturally, but through a lot of practice.
Were you surprised that you could hit it that well after practice?
Yes.
Are you surprised now you could hit that far?
Still, yeah.
But you were in a tournament. What do these tournaments mean to you? The winning these things. What it meant to you personally?
It's like a privilege I can play in them, and I'm just grateful that I play for this school and I can just come to these tournaments and have the opportunities that I have.
John? What was the score of the two round that you had in the tournament, the most recent tournament?
The most recent tournament I played in was in Georgia, actually.
Okay.
Individual tournament. I shot an 80 and a 76.
That's not bad. I want to thank you for taking time to come here and help us put the show on and shooting. You shoot the ball very well. I'm sorry you can't make it tonight, but it was nice meeting you. And best of luck the rest of this year and then next year with the great tournaments.
Watch you on TV.
Yeah, maybe we can catch you somewhere at Pebble Beach watching. So we remember him when he was a junior. Things like this happen to us. We've had kids to go on in various sports, so we see them. So hopefully we might see you on TV.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Okay.
Thank you.
Just about all 3 of them right now have some kind of wedge, 9-iron, gap wedge, and they're just getting their muscles loose. They should have done some stretching prior to this. Sometimes they'll take a couple of clubs, put them behind their back, twist and turn a little bit. But right now, this is pretty much of a standard attempt to get warmed up. After they've hit a couple of balls there, then they'll graduate up to a 7-iron, 6 and 5-iron. The last 3 or 4 swings prior to leaving the range, they're going to hit driver, because that's going to be usually the first club they're going to hit on the first hole that they're going to play. They've already putted already, so they're warmed up that way. And as soon as someone comes over here and says, Zach, you're on the tee in 5 minutes, he'll start hitting a driver. Once he gets his driver and he's all set, he'll be gone. Each one, I would say, has about the same routine. No one does anything really different, like hitting a driver first and working their way back. Jimmy's the second one in the bay right now. He's getting ready to hit his clubs, taking his swing back, getting organized, just making sure he hits it. Then we got Tyler Balcomers in the third bay. He's just swinging a little bit harder. Down at the end, we got Bobby Peluso. He's swinging also. You'll notice that the kids are hitting off mats. They don't like to hit off mats. Mats jar your elbows and give you little problems. They would like very much to be hitting off that grass. But at Emerson Country Club, and we're a guest, we abide by their rules, which is to hit off the mats. All right, why don't you guys graduate up to a 5-iron, because after you guys get warmed up really good, we're going to play a foursome. Bobby, you're going to walk with me. We're going to talk a little bit. They're going to play down 18. You're going to get to see them play a complete hole. We got permission. So what are you hitting now, 5-iron? 6-iron, okay. You're hitting 4. The big thing is, the reason you go to a driving range, other than to warm up and get loose, is you want to know what direction your ball's going in. And that sounds a little funny, but sometimes you'll be playing a left to right ball, which is called, for a better player, a fade. For a guy that's not that good, would be a slice. And for a real good player, he wants to play a draw, get a little bit more distance off the tee. For someone who's not that good, it'll be more of a hook. So these guys will figure out if their ball is going to be fading or if they're going to be hooking. That's part of the reason you go to a range. And the old adage is, whoever you brought to the dance, you bring home. Well, whatever you have at the range, that's what you bring to the golf course. What do I hit, guys, mostly?
Power fade.
Power fade. That's my favorite shot. That's what I hit.
Mine would be sliced.
Right. But they like to hit the soft fade into the green if they can, because that usually will help stop the ball. Nowadays, with the advent of the new ball, the better clubs, conditioning, youth, strength, they hit the ball so far that there's no restrictions to how far they can really hit the ball. Some of them drive the ball over 300 yards. It makes playing some of the golf courses a little bit easier. Zach's now got a driver. This is the famous slider. It's known as the the boom cannon. Anyway, TaylorMade makes that, and they set it up at 12 degrees, torque it to about 14.
Mine's still 12.
Still 12? Okay. Each one of the drivers is a little different, but the new concept now is less spin, Zach? Is that less spin, higher loft? BK hits it just as far. Bobby hits it just as far. And there's guys here that aren't here hit it just as far. You know, they're just... sometimes it's fun to watch this, huh, John?
Absolutely. Ricky, we've got to pick up from start to finish on these shots. It's unbelievable the distance that these balls are going, these golf balls. Look at this. Look at the set.
That one is, that's out there over the 300-yard sign.
The distance by those trees.
Yeah, that's about 300 yards out there. A couple of these balls just flew right over the sign. My job's made easy, huh, Larry?
So when you have a 350-yard.
Well, that's a great point. That's a great question. Do you hit it 300 and have the little dreaded 50-yard chip in? No. You hit the ball 260, so you have the full 100-yard wedge in. Once I can get the 65-year-old brain into the 17-year-old body,
Right.
then they play great golf.
Right.
Okay? But some of them like the little 50-yard flick. That's what they invented the lob wedge for. But I'm a 110-yard guy. I hit a pitching wedge about 110, 115, and I feel very comfortable. Zach right now, he's been playing just great. He's a senior. He's going to Villanova.
Oh.
He's going to play golf. Eric Alonso, who's not here, is going to St. Leo, which is my old school down in Florida. And all the rest are underclassmen. Jimmy's a freshman. Bobby's a junior. Brendan's a junior. Tyler's a junior. And all the rest of the kids that are on the team, Drake Ferreter, Luke Barnard, Steve Weingraf, are all underclassmen.
Brendan shot past the 300-yard and it landed in the tree out there. I lost it.
He did. We do lose it. You know, if we're caddying for them, we usually have one guy out and one guy here during a tournament, so we can more or less help out. Okay, guys, are we ready to go play the 18th hole in a foursome? Yes, sir. We're all ready.
All right.
Okay. 18th hole at Emerson Golf Club. It's 400. Well, from the blue tees on the scorecard here, the blue is 443, 443 yards. That would be a little bit further back, so it's probably playing about 423. Jim, that's got you all pumped up, doesn't it? Sure. Of course, there we go. So on the tee first is Zach Egemeyer, team captain, and he's ready to tee off right now. Oh, that's right down the right side. It's coming back a little bit. It's definitely past the 200-yard mark out there. Oh, right on the right side of the fairway. He's probably got about 160 in. That looks about right. Nice swing. Next up is Brendan Kim. That's down the right side as well. It's hanging out to the right a little bit. It's probably going to be in the right rough on the right side. Oh, it hit the tree. Did we see where it came down?
To the left.
It's a little left.
To the left of the tree.
Okay, no problem. You should have aimed more left, but that's okay. Tyler Baltimore is now up. Well, he's up over the left side of the tree, curling back a little bit. It's going to be in a left rough. It's working its way. Going to be about 185 yards out. Bounced and kicked into the fairway. Okay, great. Feel like I'm on the Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. All right, up now, freshman Jimmy Cashone. I don't want to jinx him, but one of the straighter hitter of the golf balls.
A lot of pressure on.
I figure this should be right in the fairway. Down the right side, curving back, and as predicted, right into the fairway. There it is, a couple of bounces. Boom, perfect, right in the middle of the fairway. All right, guys, we're up and running.
Right down the middle.
Looking at the 18th hole in Emerson. On the left-hand side, we got one in the left rough and one in the center. Where did Zach's end up, Bob? Down the
Right fairway, short of the tree.
right fairway, short of the tree. And now what they do, they have rangefinders. This is the second year of using rangefinders. And they'll zero in on the flag to find out how far it is. I guess that ball over there to the left is not one of ours. So Brendan's over on the right side.
BK.
BK's the ball all the way over here.
This is yours.
This is yours over here. Bounced all the way over here. Hit the tree. Okay, so Brendan's ball hit the tree, came out over here. He's going to be about 200 yards. Tyler's up there on the left. Tyler, why don't you go over this way because BK's back here. Where are you, Zach? Zach's up over there to the right. Okay, 197 yards to the pin. We know for our notes, if we read our notes, death if we go over, right? Hits the cart path, goes out of bounds. So right now, what club are you hitting, Brendan? 5-iron. Oh, much better. A little bit on the left side, though. Will that get on the green or just be short? Oh, it hit and kicked a little left. He's pin high, though. Okay. All right. Jimmy, what club are you hitting? 5-wood. All right. Jimmy usually plays it out to the right and brings it back to the left, so I wouldn't be surprised if it started out at the right bunker. That's a draw.
That's a draw.
And he too drew the ball. He's over with Brendan on the left, so we're going to have some good chipping over there. We get to see those guys chip. All right. Now these guys hit the ball a little further up, so Tyler's way up there, and Zach's way over there. Now in Brendan's defense, if he didn't hit that tree, he too would have been up a little further. But this is what happens in golf. So Tyler's up there. See where his ball ended up. He paced off from 150 back. So how far are you now? 161. So that you can do that as well rather than using the rangefinder.
What iron you using?
8-iron?
Okay.
All right, so he's hitting an 8-iron. He's going to play ball at Villanova. He's a good athlete. He played all 4 years for me, which was great.
When did they start? I'll ask them during the show, but I'm asking you now. When did they start?
They started when they were young, like 8. Okay, here's a great swing. Ball's up. It's going to be right on the pin. I think it's going to be right next to the pin. Oh, yeah, there it is, right next to the pin as it landed. Okay, a little clapping from the crowd. Okay. Tyler Balkema, he has the ability. He's probably hitting either an 8 or a 9. Tyler, what are you hitting? Yeah, 8 or a 9, and he has the ability also to put this on the green. Just another green and red. He'll 3-putt. Okay, good. I like the shirts, though. They will have the school logo on the back. Okay, he's pushed it a tiny bit. He's going to be right of the flag. He too should be on the green. A little right of the flag. Yep, there it is. Perfect. He's right. Nice shot. Okay, great. They all get along very well. They hang out together. They talk. They're just not golf snobs. They're actually athletes that like to play golf, and they feed off each other. They'll talk about different clubs that will do different things. They'll try different attempts. Out of the bunker, there's several different ways to try to get out. You got the dollar bill method, the explosion, the chop down. Basically, they're a lot better than I am, so the things they listen to.
Brendan, how much do you play? So we're not going to have you on. I'm sorry, you won't be there tonight for our interviews, right?
Yeah.
How much do you play other than in tournaments on your own?
I'll play usually every day. I mean, it's not just something I'm good at. It's something that I love to do, and I'll love for the rest of my life. I've been playing since I was 4. So it shows that I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep playing every day.
So when you were playing it for, was your father or grandparents or someone
My dad got me into it. My dad was an avid golfer. He went to college in New York, and he played Bethpage Black every day.
Oh.
And the first time he played, he shot 81 with a 2-iron from the tips.
With a 2-iron?
2-iron. He never hit driver. So he got me into it. Got me a first plastic set and was hitting it over the street at our house, and then got my first set, I think, when I was like 6. So
you play every day, whether it's tournament or not, during the summer?
Yeah. We might not be playing on a course. It could be just like doing a select practice, like practicing putting for a good 2 hours, or practicing, and it's something that I need to work on.
And what about the winter? Like we had a miserable winter here. Do you go indoors in it?
I'm lucky enough that I work at an indoor golf place, so I play for free. So I get to see all the stats and stuff.
You can tell them the name of it so you can get some press.
Yeah, the Players Club in Paramus. So it's like an indoor facility. They use the simulators like they would on the tour. So it's the same, gives you the really good statistics and stuff. But then I'm fortunate enough that I'll go out to the Butch Harmon School out in Vegas and work, not with Butch Harmon, but I get to work with a guy out there, and that's probably been one of the best things for me, because I've gotten better every year with that.
And you're going to Villanova?
Yes, I'm going to Villanova.
Oh, good luck. We got to move along. It's starting to rain. We don't want the thunderstorms to hit us.
No.
The ability to chip the ball and get it up on the green from a lie next to the green. Jimmy looks like he's a little further away. Possibility of a tree in the way, but he'll be able to punch it low. Maybe he'll hit it into the bank and then run it towards the pin. This little rain that we're getting now is no big deal. We played all spring, the worst spring we've ever had since I've been coaching. We played in the rain just about half of the time that we played, or the wind, or it was brutally cold. So this doesn't really faze them too much. They would be a little bit more prepared, maybe a rain jacket.
Does your game change in the rain?
Absolutely, and that's a great question. The reason why it changes, this is Jimmy's chip, and just like I said, he'll chip it up right next to the hole, almost knocked it in, right? What you do is you take a little bit of the breakout on the putting green. It won't break as much. You try to interlock, keep yourself dry, your clubs dry. Brendan's a pretty good chipper as well. He's just chipped it up. His ball's rolling up towards the hole. And this is where you save your strokes. By basically getting up and down from the green side. Now we got, Bobby's going up. He's going to get the pin. The rain's letting up, which is great. I would say that there's a good possibility that 3 of the 4 players will get pars on this hole.
So basically what you're doing here, when you play, and people who don't play golf, there's an old adage, you drive for show and putt for dough. The whole game was in the 100 yards, 50 yards.
Absolutely.
On the green.
You saw that the guy that hit it the furthest is not necessarily the closest right now. Now, Tyler's a pretty good putter. He should get it relatively close. Well, he'll make 4. Zach struggles with his putting a little bit. That's the only thing that's keeping him from being an absolutely great player. He's a good player, but he's got to putt a little bit better. Oh, that hit the hole. Just didn't go in, but it hit the hole. I told you he's a good putter, right?
He said he was a great putter.
Yeah, great putter, right? So there's 1 par as advertised. Nice putt, Tyler. Here's Zach, who's now right. Okay, Zach's now what he's got to do is he's got to get it within a 3-foot circle. He hit that one. That's going close, getting there. Just had to go a little bit more. How far away are you, Zach?
30 feet?
Yeah. And now he's going to tap it in. He's relatively close. So he's got a par. So we got 2 in the house. Now here goes Brendan. He's also putting for a par. I believe the ball breaks a little bit right to left. So if he's outside the hole, the ball should get there and then snap and go right in. We'll know right away if he's going to make this. I can see that. It's going to miss on the low side. I can see it right from here. I know exactly how it's going to break. Brendan, I called it right to left, and I'm sitting over here in the cart.
Can you say that during the tour? Oh, you got to be quiet during the tournament.
We're going to be able to maybe coach next year. We voted on it. We'd like to be able to coach, and it's very important. These kids are very young. They should have this.
You put a lot of pressure right there. You know, we're watching him, and of course, he knows if he goes the wrong way.
Okay, we'll see if Jimmy can get up and down. He almost made his chip. And there it is. 3 out of the 4, as I predicted, got par. This should be good. You'll see them blast out, and if you slowly drift to the right, most of them should be close to the hole. That's their plan. And there it is. And it almost went in the hole. Right? That's very, very good shot. Okay, Jimmy, you're up next.
He had a little draw on that, right? A little stopping.
Well, he had a little bit of the ridges in a sand wedge. Gene Saracen invented the sand wedge, and basically the lines in the club and the ridges are designed to make the ball spin, so when it comes out of the sand, it will check up and stop. Also, they take a nice swing. They go through the sand, let the sand cushion the ball, and it comes out in a soft manner. And that's another nice shot. A little bit longer. Jimmy has a tendency to what we call chunk and roll. He'll land it short of the pin and then let it roll, or some of the other guys will stop it. They all have the ability to do either. Brendan, he'll probably hit this one out and stop it. It looks like he's got it open pretty high. And then he just let it roll. That was the chunk and roll we talked about. Okay. Good shot, Brendan. Well, maybe we'll get you on the TV because of that. You never know. Here goes Tyler now. He's getting ready. And that's a nice shot as well. Very nice. Good bounce. Bobby, you want to do one out of the sand so you can get on TV? All right, here he goes. Not bad. Okay. He hasn't been warmed up like you guys, right?
Well, that's the segment we had, and the last shot, we have to give him a few seconds to have just a little retort here. That's the first shot you had all day. Put the mic up. That's the first shot you had all day. That wasn't your club.
Nope.
And so that's why you didn't ace it, put it right in, right?
Yes.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's very good. Well, thank you very much. That was great. John, myself, Rick, you had a wonderful time walking the course there at the Emerson Golf Club. Now we're going to talk about a little trip. Well, you're going to talk about it. We'll have our youngsters back talk about it. You're taking a little trip here at the end of June. Tell us about where you're going and how this took place.
The team has been invited to play in Scotland at the Old Course in St. Andrews. We received a letter about 2 or 3 months ago. We put together some fundraisers. We raised the money. And they traditionally bring about 8 teams, some from California, Vermont, Utah, Florida. I was able to get 2 teams, and they accepted it. So we have a 6-man team. We're going to call that the red team, and we have the white team. It's another 6-man team. I have my 2 assistant coaches going and 4 parents. And so we leave.
You need a couple of camera people?
Yeah, I know. We've been getting phone calls for people who want to help out and go on the trip right away.
I figured I'd throw that in, you know.
What's nice about it is we're going to land on Sunday, and St. Andrews traditionally is closed after 12 o'clock. People walk their dogs, ride bikes, and it's going to be a walking tour with all the double greens, the pot bunkers, the sod walls, the Royal and Ancient Clubhouse, the Swilken Bridge. We're going to get a lot of photo ops. We're going to bring our Bergen Catholic shirts and bags. And hopefully we'll get a picture in front of the Royal and Ancient Clubhouse, on the Swilken Bridge, the road hole. And these are pictures that they'll have in their office when they're in their 30s. People will come in and say, "Is that the Swilken Bridge?" And they go, "Yep." "When did you go there?" You know, it's like 17, 18 years old. So that would be Sunday. Then we're playing Crail on Monday, which is a practice round. And then it's a 54-hole tournament, so we'll play another 18 holes on Tuesday, another 18 on Wednesday, another 18 on Thursday, with the lowest score winning the tournament out of the 8 other schools that will be there. It's going to be like a vacation and a tournament combined. We're staying at the University of St. Andrews dormitory, right next to the Royal and Ancient Clubhouse and the old hotel. One of these trips that I think if I was a kid, be a once in a lifetime, I wouldn't give it up for anything, and that's why I got so many kids to go. Now we're going to get in the lottery to get into the old course. People don't realize it doesn't get dark until 10:30 in Scotland during the summer. And so when they play at 8 o'clock in the morning and we're done at 1, and they get the lottery pick and they get to go into the old course and play at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they still have plenty of time to play, and that's going to be part of the adventure. Hopefully we'll do that. And then on July 4th is the off day, because we come home on the 5th, and we're going to try to play Kings Barnes, which is a famous golf course over there. If not that, we'll play Carnoustie.
Well, who's sponsoring this this tournament out there?
The name of the company is the Golf Championship at the Royal and Ancient St. Andrews, and they sent me a letter, invited me, and we put the trip together. The school gave me permission to go. We raised all the money for the airfare and a little bit more, and the competition is going to be, great for the different states that we're playing, and the kids are pretty confident. I feel that they're going to do very well.
When you go there, someone will be there taking photographs of it and maybe some video. If that's the case, I'd like you to come back in the fall, bring our golfers, bring everybody, even our young man who's at a prom, and talk about the trip with some pictures behind it. How's that?
Well, we hope to. They give out a replica of the claret jug, so we're going to try to bring that back if we can.
All right, bring all that stuff
No
up
promises, but we'll try.
Try to bring that back. That's great. You're making the trip, Jimmy?
Yes, I am.
What does this mean to you going out at a very young age that you are a freshman? You'll be a sophomore technically when you go. What does it mean to you to be out there?
I'm looking forward to this because not a lot of high school golfers get to experience something like this, and it's just going to be a different atmosphere, and it's going to be fun to play on what pros play on, and it's going to be fun.
The British Open will be sometime in August, right after you leave.
It's going to be at St. Andrews as well.
It'll be St. Andrews, right?
Yep.
So the British Open will be just after you leave, after July 4th, right? It'll
Yep.
be sometime mid-July, right?
Course should be in pretty good shape, and the excitement. They might even be putting up the bleachers, and the bleachers aren't anywhere near like the bleachers we see. Bleachers we see are 15, 20, 30 feet high. The bleachers for the Open, as they refer to it, we call it the British Open, they call it the Open, they're 150 feet high. They're the highest bleachers you ever saw in your whole life, and these people trust going up on these and sit there. It's fantastic.
Let's ask Brandon back of me, the trip to Scotland, what does it mean to you? And
Same with Jimmy. It means a lot. Not a lot of players just in general, not just high schoolers, but people in their lifetime don't get to really go to St. Andrews and play golf there. And to have experience and go when I get older and I can look back and say I actually got to play St. Andrews and got to play a course where all the pros played. So yeah, it's a great experience. I'm really glad I'm going.
And Bobby, you can't make it because you have a family commitment, but
Yep.
maybe next year
Yeah,
you'll get a
hopefully.
chance. Now you're going to get on your hands and knees and tell these guys
Oh, yeah.
tell them let's go
Go
back again
back-
next
go back
year.
again, yep.
You want to get back there and play on a prestigious course like this?
Yeah, that would be awesome. You know?
Great. Were you ever at you've been at the Masters? Have you been on that course, the Masters course?
Yeah, about 5 years ago, I went on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday. So I saw 2 practice rounds, and then I saw the par 3 contest, which is terrific. Usually the sons or daughters of the players carry the bag, and they look very cute. They're all dressed in the white outfit, and you're right up next to the players. And the atmosphere during a practice round is so different. They actually talk to you, and you can take their picture, and they're not as serious. They're serious, but not into that frame of mind when they're actually playing. A beautiful place. The first time I walked down, I came in the back by the 13th hole that has the probably hundreds and hundreds of azalea bushes, and the green and the sand. And I actually thought it was fake at first. It catches you off guard. It's so perfect looking and so beautiful. And you just walk around and nobody runs, nobody's smoking. and you drop a little piece of paper. Sometimes we would do it on purpose. In 2 seconds, someone comes by and picks it up and puts it away. It's just a magnificent place.
Let's talk a little about you, Coach. You've been coaching for 32 years. Your record is 949 victories, just 32 losses in 32 years. That's one loss a year.
I know every single one of those losses,
I
too.
bet you do. You know, but at night you sit up and think about them, and one tie. And the amazing thing is, it's a loss a year for 32 years.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking, John, and you were here listening to what we say. With 949 wins, you're 2 years away from getting 1,000 wins.
That's a possibility.
I don't know if anyone has, off the top of my head, and I could be wrong, I don't know of coaches that have 1,000 wins.
Bobby Hurley.
Bobby Hurley has it?
Yep, he's the only one in New Jersey that
New
has
Jersey.
it.
Now, there might be some other.
And Jeff Jasper and I are very close.
Jasper.
Jeff's got about 940 wins, girls
Yeah.
basketball, Pascack Valley, and I got 949.
1,000 wins. That is simply amazing. And the longevity. Now, very quickly, 32 years. You told the story here. It's funny. Tell us how you got the job real quick.
Well, I went to Bergen Catholic and graduated in '66, and I followed them in the paper and went to basketball games when they came home from college. And they had a good golf program. They actually won the Tournament of Champs in 1980. And the funny thing was, Tony Kosich was the football coach, but at that time he had a 4-year tenure as the golf coach. And people don't know that. And he was actually Coach of the Year in 1980. The Bergen County Coaches Association gave him Coach of the Year for golf, of all things. And in 1982, he won the double. He won the football championship, and he also won the golf championship. And then he left. He went to Solomon Brothers for a couple of years, and as we all know, he came back to St. Joe's. So I went for the job interview, and he recommended a very good friend of his and a good friend of mine who's still a golf coach, Ralph Calise. And I kept going for the interviews, and Ralph kept missing the interviews. And all of a sudden, one day, I saw Brother Repke in the hall. I say, am I ever going to get this job? And he said, I'll give it to you on one condition, and one condition only, if you start a JV team. And the rest is history. For $700, I took over the program, took over Tony, who was just legendary in football. No one knew he was the golf coach. And it's been a lot of fun ever since. I don't make much more money, but that's not the point.
That is a great story.
We never heard. Did you know that Tony Kosich was a golf coach, got coach of the year in golf?
No.
Now, we know him how many years?
Yeah.
We never heard that
He would
story.
never tell us that.
No, he would never
He
tell
would say, "I only
He probably
do-
forgot
I only
about
do
it thinking about
football."
football.
No, he's funny. When he bumps into friends and I'm near, he tells everyone, I made that guy. And he really takes credit.
always
And then he's the guy that brought Jimmy McGovern off the baseball diamond in junior year and made Jimmy play golf. He said, don't you live on a golf course? And Jim goes, yeah, I live on the 4th hole. He says, good, you're playing. And then when I got there, I had Jimmy in the senior year. He played baseball his freshman and sophomore year. So Tony coached him for 1 year, won a state championship, but I coached him for 1 year and won a state championship. He likes to take credit for Jimmy's success.
And Jimmy today is a golf pro, and we see him playing in different tournaments around the country.
Well, that up until about 3 or 4 years ago, that was true. Now he's the head pro at White Beaches. Okay. He had won the Shell Open, came in 5th in the Masters. He came in 16th in the U.S. Open, one of the very few guys who got to play with Jack Nicklaus on the last day, shot a 69 at Oakmont. All-time great family. The McGovern family is one of the greatest families you ever want to hang around with. And Jimmy at White Beaches is settled in. He's got his 3 daughters and 1 son, so he's busy watching basketball and soccer. And he made golf popular at Bergen Catholic. It wasn't as popular as it is now. If Jimmy McGovern can play football, basketball, baseball, and golf, then anyone can play golf.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
How about this young man, Hoffman, from White
Morgan Hoffman played 2 years up here, played for Ramapo.
Yeah.
And then he went down to the Hilton Head Academy, and a guy named Gilchrist was there. And Gilchrist left and went to Orlando, and Morgan followed him. And then Morgan, Bob Tway's son, the old 9, who's the young kid that was out there? Ricky Fowler. Yes. They all went to Oklahoma State like a package, and they made Oklahoma State just a simple
Ricky Fowler
powerhouse.
wears that nice hat, crazy
big
hat.
He wears that hat.
At least he cut his hair now. He looks sharper, I think.
Yeah.
But he won $100,000 the last.
Yeah, in one tournament.
One tournament, 100,000.
You know.
There's money in them hills, not golf balls.
But Morgan would be the most successful and will be the most successful golfer in this metropolitan area. Jimmy was very successful, but as time goes on, I think Morgan will surpass him with success.
He looked pretty strong when I saw a little bit of him on Sunday. Okay, very quickly before we let you young men go home, we'll start here with Jim and we'll go around. Bergen Catholic golf is over now, right? You're done with them. They're all done. What are you going to do?
I'm going to be playing in more tournaments for golf, and like the AJGA is popular, and there's actually an AJGA event this summer hosted by Morgan Hoffman, so that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
Okay, we're going to move down. What are you going to be doing, Brandon?
Same thing as Jimmy. I'll be playing tournaments the whole season. In the summer, probably a tournament every single week, actually. And I'm going to be getting prepared during the weekdays. And then on the weekends, I'll be playing and try to get my resume up as I'm a junior now. So trying to get into college through golf and hopefully I play well. And I think after this season, I have a lot of confidence coming in. And it's going to be a great year, I think.
Very good. Bob?
Yep, same with Brendan. Playing a lot of golf tournaments, building a resume for college. Just doing my best to look the best for colleges, and building my resume.
Colleges follow them in these after they play high school and they get into these tournaments. Do they follow them like AAU basketball? And
Yeah, the AJGA is where they follow them because they play 2 and 3 day events. High school golf is a little different than it was 25 years ago. It's almost not as where the college coaches use it as a guide. They'll use these other tournaments, but these guys will tell you, we had a ball playing high school golf. I mean, they can do both. They'll play during the week, and if you're busy, active, studying, and then on the weekends you go to these tournaments and you come back home. I mean, we played 30-some events. We call them play dates because some are tournaments, some are 9-hole events, and not all of them play 30. Some of you guys all played about 16 or 17, and with 9 people on the team, we just rotated them.
You don't play any fall? There's no fall?
There's no fall golf. I wish there was, because he would segue right from the summer, right into golf, 6 weeks, no Easter vacation, perfect. Golf courses would be better. It's just strange. We're the only, Pennsylvania, New York State, Delaware, Maryland, everyone plays in the fall but us.
Before you go, I just thought of something you told me on the phone. There was a human relations story about one of these championships where one of your players couldn't make it, and you did something special. You want to talk a little about that?
Yeah, we were all set. We went for practice round on Saturday. We were all set to bring Jimmy down to play in the States on Monday, and unfortunately his grandfather passed away, and I was concerned that he would miss the wake, would miss being with the family. I didn't think he'd be focused, although he's a very, very focused kid. And I made a decision to leave him home, be with his family, and take Steve Weingraf. And Jimmy fought me a little bit at first. He didn't want to let the team down, which is very important, but his family supported my decision, and then he eventually did, and the family was very comfortable with that. And we went down, and Steve helped us win the States, and we all get medals, including me. I got 2 medals, one for the state and one for the Tournament of Champs. And the next day I went to the funeral mass, and Jimmy was a pallbearer, and I gave my medals to Jimmy, and his family all come up to me. His uncles all went to Bergen Catholic, his grandmother, his mother, his dad, and boy, I'll tell you, I was more into that than the trophies. That meant everything to me, that this family just thought this was the right thing at the right time, and Jimmy just, what a special kid. That was really neat to have done that.
Want to say something? What you want to comment on that, or how this situation affected you?
Yeah, at first I was a little mad because I wanted to be in part of states and try to contribute for my team. But then, as like Coach said, he wanted me to be with my family, and I got 3 more years, and it was a good decision by Coach because we won. I'm happy for the team, and the team played good. So.
Very good, Jim. Very good. You've all of you got a very sense of high maturity here. All these kids here, they do. It seems like when you go to Bergen Catholic, that's all you get. No matter walk down the hall, no matter if it's football, golf, basketball, anything. There's a maturity level there.
Just a follow-up with Jim, but I think what happened to Jim, by you not playing, the other kids playing, I think that was also another push to make sure that they would win. because you were home and you were taking care of business, and they were taking care of winning it for you. And you'll have plenty, couple more years.
Absolutely.
You got to be with your family in those situations.
Oh, you'll be there another 3 years, I'm sure, in some difficult situation. You'll come through magnificently. Coach, I want to thank you for coming. It was wonderful
Thanks for having
having you here. And I'm saying this again, we're offering an invitation that when you do come back from Scotland and you have some pictures and momentum, please come here and share those experiences and bring the young fellows with you that went with you. And we'd like to hear just what happened. And if you need a camera person or some other people, I offer you that.
We can carry bags.
You can carry, you need bag handlers.
Bag handlers.
You need bag handlers. Carry the golf bags around. We don't care. We'll do
You can
whatever we have
actually
to do.
announce as everything's
We
happening.
can do the announcing too.
There's our announcers.
So I want to thank you, Jim. Thank you, Brendan, Bobby. Thank you so very much. Take time out. Again, we want to thank you for coming. Again, we want to thank the Emerson Golf Course for
Yes,
those people there
absolutely.
for allowing us to walk the 18th hole with these outstanding golfers and their great coach. Next week, we're going to have a show here, Eva's Fresh. It's going to be we're going to talk about healthy living and nutrition, everything you really want to do to keep yourself in a good frame of mind, John. That's
Just
you.
like me.
You got to eat well,
Yeah.
exercise,
Yeah.
golf, walk around. So that'll be on next week. Monday, this coming Monday, we will have the Memorial Day Parade. We'll show it sometime Monday evening as we celebrate Memorial Day. So for the entire golf program here at the Bergen Catholic, this is Larry Ferry with John Francola and the volunteers at WCTV. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. It's a great show. We had a wonderful time doing it. We really enjoyed it, and we look forward to doing more. Good night, everybody.